Hello everybody, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you for joining me today. Before we get started, the housekeeping notes. All the product I use and all the dimensions are listed below. There's a link to my online store if you wish to purchase any of these products. There's a link to our Facebook group. We'd love to have you join that. There's my email address if you have any questions. And finally, remember to like, share, and subscribe and help me grow in YouTube world. Today we're going to be playing with a suite that is in the online store. It's not in any catalog, and it's called Mixed Media. Hang on, I'm going to get this right. Mixed Media Floral Suite. It's a long name. Anyhow, there's two stamp sets in the suite. There's this beautiful floral. I'm going to hold that up so you don't get too. Try to get the glare out of there. Cute little bee or ladybirds in there. It's quite pretty. And there is dies, and I do need to get the dies out to cut all the pieces. And I believe this is the one we're going to need today. And this one here, which is a standalone die that cuts some beautiful greenery. The other one is mixed labels, and I used this the other day for this verse. We're using a couple of them out of this one today. And there is some really cute label dies, and there's one more right here I've already pulled out because we're going to be using it. This is red rubber, this is photopolymer. Now also in the suite is an embossing folder that's called Plaster Painting 3D Embossing Folder. It is gorgeous. We're going to be using this today because I think it's so pretty. There's also some gems, which are called low profile, and they are very low profile. They are very flat gems. And this is sort of a gold or wild wheat and maybe a petal, I want to say petal pink, but it might be, no, I think it's petal pink. It doesn't say on the package, but I think it's petal pink. But it's very pretty. They're very shiny. And then the paper. I didn't pull both pieces out. I usually pull out one sheet. I didn't on this one. It's quite pretty. And you hear some banging. There's Smoky's in here with me today. And then we have textured. Smoky, no. Just one moment. No. No. Get down. No. Sorry, she was chewing on the poles on the curtains. She doesn't usually do that anymore. So we got this beautiful and this nice green. Love this one. I like it all. Some nice petal pink stripes. Beautiful. There's a lot of different designs in here. Got some black check. Flowers. Some more color. Yeah, that's very pretty. And then we've got black flowers. But this is the paper. And I should tell you, it goes with the set. But we're not using the paper today. We'll be using it later, I'm sure. Just one moment. I'm sorry to interrupt the video. Would you like to all see who's the problem here? This is my problem. This is Smoky. She is a total hoodlum to this morning. You want to show me your cute face? No. She's not going to let me show your face. She's a cute baby. See, you can sort of see her. But you stay out of the curtains. She hasn't played with those in months. Now that I've held her, maybe she'll go in the other room. I'm so sorry about that. If I had closed the door, then they just scratch at the door and make a lot of noise, so I let them in. Okay, now back to where I was. Sorry about that. This is the card we're going to be making. We have just a simple envelope, and the card is this. It is a tower card. It says on the front, for a great friend. Your kindness makes my day. Now I'm going to change that verse today. I'm going to say, you're pretty wonderful. Just wanted to make a little change, but it stands up nice. It's quite easy to make. So let's start with the coloring and the stamping. Getting the pieces out of my envelope here. So I have already die cut the greenery out of Granny Apple Green, and we will actually be dissecting that to make our card. And then you're going to need an envelope. You're going to need a piece of white that is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. And if I forget to give you a measurement, they will be listed below. You're going to need a scrap. I don't need that. Yeah, we'll use this one. Nope, that's not my scrap. This is my scrap. That has ink on it. Just a scrap for our sentiment that's going on the front. And a piece of card, which is about a 1/4 sheet, to stamp the flower. So, and let's do the flower first, and the parts that are going to be colored so that they can sit for a minute. Today I'm using Smoky Slate. Like I said, you could do any color you wanted, but now I have gotten this on this block. This is a very large stamp. I've got this on the block. This is just barely hanging over, but I'm going to cover up the bottom of this so it doesn't matter. You could use this if you have a Stamparatus or another stamping platform. You might want to use it. This is quite big. Or if you put it on the Great Wheel block, it's just really heavy for me. So if you have a stamping platform, you might want to do that. I'm going to turn this over because it is so big and I want to make sure I got it well covered. And I'm going to put this here and I'm going to give it a good push. Just like that. And I did get the whole bottom. So you can get it on there if you see how I've loaded that about that angle. So we'll be coloring that. Oh, I did forget to grab, you know me, I'm always forgetting to grab something. We do need one more stamp out of here. I need this little flower. We'll bring the overkill of a block in. Going to stamp also in Smoky Slate my flower on the front. And I'm going to put a flower down here in the bottom of this. And then I'm going to switch colors and I'm going to go to Peach Pie. The sentiments are going to be Peach Pie. You're pretty wonderful. I didn't check to see if this fits. It does. I was thinking it would. You're pretty wonderful. And then on our little scrap that we're going to die cut, put that right like that. Put that over for die cutting. So the first thing we do need to do is color. Now, I've got very limited, we're going to use blends today. I have light Granny Apple Green, light Peach Pie, light Flirty Flamingo, dark Lemon Lolly, and light Bubble Bath. Using pretty light colors on this. I wanted it very springy. So let's do the envelope first. This is why I said this piece of paper had ink on it already. If you're going to do, okay, don't do this. Check before you stamp your envelope to make sure it's going the right direction. So let's fix that problem right now. I didn't flip it over to make sure I was stamping on the right side. It's okay, we'll use it for something else. There we go. And I'm going to tuck this piece of paper, put some paper in here down into the corner, so when you do this, the blends don't bleed through to the back side. We'll let that one sit for a second. We'll do this first. And the colors on these are going to be light bubble bath. Like I said, I'll move this in a little bit so you can see. And just pretty little. I should have enough time to dry now. Oh, I'm sorry, I got out of the camera again. I got to keep on looking up to make sure I'm in the camera. And then we're going to use Granny Apple Green. I'm using the nib on this because it's, and I'm not getting fancy with these. So that's the envelope. Then we take our piece of paper out, we're fine. And then this one, little Granny Apple down here. So that one's done. And then our big piece. Now, when you're doing this one, you do need to be careful because I started coloring and you have to really think about where the stalks and stuff are going. And I'll show you what I'm talking about as I go. Especially in this area. You think there might be a leaf right here, but there isn't. It's the stalk coming down and there's nothing in between it when you look at it. It's right here. There's this here and a leaf that comes this way, but the gap in between is nothing. So, but I'm going to start with my stalks. And I'm using light Granny, and I'm going to use my bullet tip. I found doing the stalks first was a good idea. Gave me a good reference point. Plus, I'm going to go back over them in a minute and darken them up a little more. That stalk is on that side, and it comes back over here. Like that. Okay. And we're going to do the rest of the green. Like I said, I'm not getting fancy. I am just coloring. I'm going to do a little blending on the tulips. But for the most part, I am just doing easy. Stay inside the lines. Coloring. And while I'm coloring, it'd be a good time if you haven't subscribed to my channel to go do that right now. And hit that like button. And maybe share it with some friends if you maybe would be interested in seeing some crafting videos. It would help me out on YouTube. YouTube likes when we get more subscribers and more people looking at the videos. I'm just turning the paper so it's easier for me. And I'm being quiet because I'm trying to get done. Okay, and we got some green down here. And a little bit there. But just follow the leaves around. That's the easiest way. Going slower because I'm in the, gotta go around the little flowers. And you could do fancy blending if you wanted. Okay, see the gap I have right there? There's nothing in that gap. And then this one comes like this. And then this one comes up like this. So I'm just trying to stay inside the thing. Now I'm going to come back. Go over one more time and we'll make it a shade darker on those stalks. Yeah, I thought my stalk come right there. Got something on my paper. Oh well, it'll be fine. Okay, the little flowers once again are the bubble bath. Oop, wrong end. I hope everybody's been having a good day. I'm filming this a couple days before you're seeing it, and it's about 9 in the morning, and it's about 23 degrees outside. It's a good day to stay inside and craft. Yeah, nice, cold, sunny, no snow. We haven't had any snow this winter. We've hardly had any rain. Okay, next is my tulips. So my first tulip is going to be peach pie. Okay, we'll come back to that one in a minute. The next one is Flirty Flamingo. Okay, and the next one is going to be Lemon Lolly. And this I use the dark Lemon Lolly. Okay, now I'm going to come back to my peach pie. And I'm using the same color. Just going to do a little bit darker here and a little bit around. Like I said, I'm not doing a lot of blending, just adding a little bit of definition in those. Same with this one. A little bit more up on that one. Just a little definition, not much. And then this one. A little more on that one. Like I said, a little bit of blending, but not a lot. And that is the end of the coloring. Very pretty, isn't it? So we need to die cut this. We are going to do some embossing. So let's get the framework of our card done. You're going to need a piece of 8.5 by 5.5, and we are going to score this together. Your first score line is going to be 1 7/8. Make sure your cutting blade is out of the way. And the next one is 3 inches. And you just see what I just did? I said, get your cutting blade out of the way, and I did what I said I wasn't supposed to. So just one moment. As you know, I don't edit my videos. I just go with it. So let me get another piece of peach pie. I'm human. So let's cut this at 5.5. Now let's try this again. You know, I'm having one of those mornings. I'm just taking my blade out. Then I can't accidentally grab it. I do that a lot of times. If I'm doing a lot of scoring, I'll take the blade out. So 1 7/8. 3, not cut. Now, The next score lines are 5 1/2 and 6 5/8. Or flip it over, score it 1 7/8 again, and 3, which is the easiest way in my book. I will have the actual all 4 measurements in there for you, but you can just flip it. Life is much easier that way. So that's what we have here, and I have cat hair up here now. And then we're going to burnish these. So we're going to start at the inside score line. We're going to do that one this way, and this one this way. I have Smoky hair on my desk. Yeah, she has long hair. Not real long, but I've seen longer, but hers is quite long. I do know this because I have to brush her every night. So that's the base of our card, right like that. Okay, now we're going to make our panels for our card, and we're going to emboss those. And you have one that is the same size as your white, which is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And these are 1 5/8 by 5 1/4. And these are Flirty Flamingo. I've never put Flirty Flamingo and Peach Pie together, but I decided why not. So we're going to get this out, and we're going to grab the embossing folder, which I've buried. And this is one of those oversized ones. So what's nice about this oversized one, though, is I can put all these in at one time. I can line them all up in here. Just like that. And run them through at one time. You need plate 1 and plate 4 to do this. And these oversized ones, make sure you are going straight into your machine. Oop. And that you're on the plate all the way. Up so you can see. You guys see how detailed those are? They're gorgeous. Okay, so we need to do some die cutting now. So we're gonna need plate 1, plate 2, and 2 plate 3s. So let's die cut this piece first. And there's my die. Line that all up. I'm gonna grab a little post-it tape here. I did all the coloring. I don't want to have to do it again. I'm just trying to make sure I've got everybody lined up properly. That looks pretty good. Just checking all the different flowers to make sure I haven't cut somebody off. We'll cut that out. We just made. Very nice. And then we have to die cut one more thing, and that's our sentiment for the front of our card, which is for a great friend. And I believe that is all the cutting we need. So we'll get rid of this. And there's our beautiful verse, and it leaves this beautiful little border on it. Very pretty. Okay, let's build the card. Got all of our pieces here now. So let's start with the back of our card first. Now you could decorate all the panels if you wanted, but they're really going to be looking at the front, not the back. And this is going to go right here in the center. Just like that. Okay, now make sure when you flip this that you're going the right direction and you're not upside down. So this big piece is going to go in here. Using the embossed side, but like I say, the de-embossed side is really pretty too. They did away with the painted one. I was like, oh no. Then they replaced it with this, so I was okay. And this is going to go on the outside here. And then this one is going to go on this one. What do you guys think about Flirty Flamingo and Peach Pie together? I was like, Started looking at colors and I thought, why not? Okay, now we have this piece here. Now this, you could put this behind, but you're not going to see much, and it's too tall to go in the thing. So what I decided to do is do a little dissecting. And what I did was, I came up here. You see where this one is right here? So I came up down here, clipped this one off, and clipped this one off right like that. 2 snips. And dissecting is done. So then what I want to do is I want to put these on here, on the back, and this one's going to almost come tear to the bottom. Because what you need to do is close this up, and I find a nice block as always just to hold the edge here, just so it holds it for me. Or you could cut a piece of card that's the same size. Because we want to mount this on the back and out the side. But what we need to do is stay inside of the framework of the card. So about like that is where we need that piece. So I'm looking and it's right about here. So what I'm going to do is take a little seal, sort of marked right here on this spot right here. I'm just going to put one little piece of seal. And I'm not pushing it down on that spot yet. I'm just going to go back over here and make sure I've got everybody inside the framework. And if there's a little piece of green sticking out the back, it's fine. And then tack it down. Now there's going to be dimensionals on here, so I'm not going to worry about that. And this piece, I wanted it more up this way, so we set this back down. Don't press hard because you do have a little bit of glue on there. That can come about that high right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very gently, now it's not going to do it today. I'm just going to put a little glue, a little seal, sorry, just right here at the base. Be careful because they are fragile. Pull this back over. I'm not pushing it down yet. Yep, we're inside the framework. Just to make sure I stay inside the framework on this thing here, like that. That looks good. Now we'll put dimensionals all over it. Now, when you do put your dimensionals on, keep in mind you've got to stay inside. So you're not going to go clear over to this one, not clear. You're going to stay more towards the middle. one up here and one about there. So we're covering up the green too, so that's going to help hold that on. Okay, I'm going to flatten this down. I'm going to double check, make sure I'm on the right side. I want to come up as high as I can. So I'm still all inside the framework, about like that. Okay, that's that part. Then we have our lovely little sentiment. And I grabbed some of the peach pie ribbon. I'm just going to cut a little slice, a little piece off. You can always trim more later. Oh, that's about 4 inches, roughly. Probably need less than that. And grab this again, and I'm going to just take my seal and put some seal on the back. You know, we're still not friends yet, but we are working at it. And make sure you've got your ribbon. There is a right and wrong way to the ribbon, so like that. And I'm going to trim off a little bit there. And a little bit like that. That looks good. I'll grab a couple more dimensionals. Oh, just a second here. Yeah. Now you're going to put the dimensionals at the bottom of the card. See this? Because you're going over this piece here. And I'm going to put a little more seal towards the top. Because you're going to go over the other piece here. I will show you that. It's going to sit in the center right like that. So then I looked at this and said we needed some bling. Now on my first card, I did a different sentiment and I used the antique pearls on it because I liked them. But I decided this time we're going to use the low profile dots. I just haven't decided which color to use. And I'm thinking these ones that look almost like they're gold, we're going to give them a whirl. We'll put one down here. And a large one here. And a smaller one. He doesn't want to keep on running all over the page. There. Those look very nice on there too. And that's our card for today. Nice little tower card. Very cute. So 2 different versions, slightly different. Different bling, different sentiment on the back. So everybody, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and I move my tray all over the place. And sorry about the cat interruption. Goodbye.